My name is Ashley White. I'm with the Amputee Coalition. We represent individuals who have experienced amputations or were born with limb differences. And we know that there is weight bias in this space, in the disability space. People living with obesity are much less likely to be given a functional activity level to receive the appropriate prostheses they need to live the lives that they want to live in the community, to be community ambulators. And so we know that there is that's happening, and really appreciate the efforts of the Bill of Rights to acknowledge that. Do you have recommendations for those of us representing individuals living with disabilities, of organizations out there that are doing it really well, helping to educate the clinicians about that weight bias? You know, we need a place to start and would love any guidance.
So in terms of educating providers, I'm biased towards our own work at the Obesity Action Coalition that provides education around that, but I've also, and again, another program that Dr. Stanford has participated in, seen some really remarkable work by a group called the Primary Care Education Consortium, where they actually teach about obesity. And again, this is not just about the treatment of obesity, this is about obesity, right, to chief residents and other folks coming through medical school. And honestly, they start any education with a conversation about bias first. So we talk about bias first with them before we start talking about some of these other issues to kind of maybe open up their hearts and minds around this issue. So that's one group. But there are several groups up there we've seen. I know Patty, you participated in some remarkable programs at George Washington locally, and others as well. I don't know if you want to highlight one of those as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get into med schools and also PA schools and nursing, nurse practitioners. I've spoken at the, the American Association of Nurse Practitioners. We're trying to hit all those venues as much as we can. But the lack of training in med school, it really, what I participated with the George Washington University's program now for about 6 or 7 years. And they really see a difference before they survey everybody, the students. They do it for, the group they involve are their rising third-year med students. And that's just sort of before they're really gonna get into patient care. And they do bias surveys before and after and whatnot, and they really do see a difference, really a change in attitude among the students. Now, they have the problem that not everyone above them and all the people that mentor them have had that advantage, the advantage of learning more about weight bias from the get-go. So that's a problem, but hopefully over, generations, it will work its way through the system. But I think education at the earliest stages is imperative. It's imperative.
Can we ask the speaker to get close to the microphone?
Yeah.
Opening it up for our audience.
Yeah, I do have one comment. I would say that overall in the obesity community, we do have a lot of additional work to do in those with disabilities, particularly those that have been an amputee. I was talking with a patient yesterday who has a disability with vision, but she and her friend who is an amputee go to the gym together to support each other. He's an amputee. He has one of his limbs has been removed, and he goes on the treadmill. Of course, he's not able to go on the treadmill in the same way someone who's able-bodied is able to go on, but he's able to go on the treadmill for a limited period of time. He puts on his prosthesis and goes on the treadmill and uses that. He's a gentleman with obesity and has to do that in a different way. But for even someone like myself who's done this for over 20 years, and my ability to guide him is limited in terms of the work and knowledge that I have. Even the research that's available, the grants that are even available or that are being offered, the RFAs coming out of the NIH for specifically that work are limited. So I would say that there's a lot more work to be done in this area. So I would encourage you to collaborate with us. I think that there's a lot that can be done, and I recognize our limitations in this space. And I really encourage first of all to speak with you on this work, because I really speaking with her yesterday and recognizing her saying that when we go to the gym, we have to do this together because we feel limited in this space as persons with obesity, but not only persons with obesity, persons that are from racial and ethnic minority communities, and then persons from racial and ethnic minorities with obesity who also are persons with disabilities. I mean, the layers of issues that they're navigating when they go into that space, and the level of courage it takes to go into that gym are just several layers above what most of us have to navigate. So I appreciate you for getting up and the boldness that takes.
Thank you. We have